Okay, we're ready to cast our resin into our skull mold. And for this, I thought this would be a good time to introduce one of our new resin products. This is ArtKast Translucent. So much like the ArtKast standard resin, that's just kind of our budget house brand casting resin, that when it cures turns to kind of an off-white, kind of a bone color. This particular formula is designed to be translucent. It almost looks like frosted glass if you don't put any color in it. So, but its intention is for when you have to match a specific color and with intrinsic pigment. So in this case, since we want a slightly translucent, realistic bone look, we're going to start with this and then add some of our pigments to it to get a bone color. But this is a great product for simulating ivory or marble, that sort of thing, where you need a little bit of translucency or you just need to match a specific intrinsic color. So sometimes if you're doing very vibrant colors, when you're using some of the other resin products that when they cure, they turn white or turn off-white or opaque, that adds a color to that. So you wind up with more of a pastel color than the true color you were going for. So the benefit to this formula is you can mix your colors into your B, you add your A, and when it catalyzes, you wind up with a color that's still true to what you mixed up. So that said, we're going to go ahead and mix this up, and this is 1-to-1 mix ratio by weight. Now, quick word about our pigments. This is our new PolyPig color. See the cute little pig that Larry designed? Poly for polyurethane and pig for pigment. And these are concentrated pigments for polyurethane, of course, hence the poly. So real important anytime you're pigmenting a polyurethane resin to use a compatible color with that. If you go putting acrylic paint or something like that or food color in there, it's going to bubble and create foam and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So make sure if you're trying something that's not official canon, so to speak, make sure you run a small test first to make sure everything is going to be stable, because sometimes when resins exotherm, they can cause color changes in pigments that are not compatible. Now again, this is mixed 1-to-1 by weight. And I'm going to mix up 800 grams, so 400 grams of part B and 400 grams of part A. And as always, anytime I'm working with a product like this, always like to set the component I just poured out of the way just so I don't accidentally reach for that a second time. That's one of the saddest things to mix 2 Bs or 2 As. Now ready to add our pigment. Now this being bone color is predominantly kind of an off-white. So we're going to start by adding a little bit of white. And then we're going to add just a very small amount of yellow and a small amount of brown. And again, since we're just working with our B right now, we don't have the clock isn't ticking yet, but you'll see there our color is, we're a little bit too dark, so we're going to lighten that up. But right now I've got pretty close to my bone color, so I'm just going to add a little bit more white. And this is also good for teeth and horns, that sort of thing, or if you're casting tongues to go in the mouths of creatures. Any kind of hard plastic part that needs to be translucent, this is an ideal formula for that. So now ready to add our part A. So we're just going to tear out our scale. And add 400 grams of part A. If you're in a really humid environment like South Texas, like Houston or New Orleans or Florida, make sure you spray a little shot of polypurge in once you're ready to close up your Part A, because humid air will attack that and destroy that Part A. Okay, now remember with the ArtKast Translucent, we have a 3-minute working time, and remember that starts as soon as those components go together. So even while I was jibber-jabbering about humidity, it was starting to catalyze. So make sure that you get everything stirred up and poured as soon as possible. And the longer it stays in a cup, in a thick mass, the more chance you have of that kicking off even faster. So again, you want to scrape the sides and the bottom of the container, and that shouldn't take more than about 25 or 30 seconds of good, solid mixing. And we have almost to the drop what we needed there. Now I'm just going to leave what's left over in the stir stick there, so we have a little indicator of our cure time. And you'll notice that that's a fairly low viscosity resin, so most of the bubbles are just going to come right up and break. But there is enough time. 3 minutes is pretty fast, but if you needed to, you could pressure cast. That's 3 minutes is about as fast a resin as I would try to pressure cast, but it can be done. Now, another word real quick about when you're casting into a mold like this, if you got a lot of little intricate details, one of the things I do is warm up my molds. You might have seen that in previous tutorials where I'll put a work light over the mold to warm that surface of the silicone to maybe around 100, 120 degrees. And you see a big improvement in highly detailed casts doing that rather than just pouring into a cold or room temperature mold. So we're going to let that set, and we're going to come back and demold it and check out our very first part, cast from a new 0050 silicone mold. Okay, our resin has set up, so we are ready to demold our resin skull part out of our, again, beautiful 0050 mold. And again, just quick recap, the whole point of using a mold rubber this soft is so that we can deal with these really deep, pronounced undercuts like we have here. So there we have our mold and our cast. Now, one of the little finishing techniques we can do for something like this, obviously we can paint this. That's of course self-evident, but one of the things that I like to do for parts like this, just as a quick finishing technique, is use some of the Sculpt Nouveau brown wax. This is an inexpensive way to finish a prop like this, doesn't take much at all, and when it's nice and warm, this is when you can really make it look nice because that wax goes into solution and you can make those teeth really pop. So I just put this all over the part and then wipe away any excess. And the nice thing about the Sculpt Nouveau wax is when it cures, it hardens. So it actually is a really stable coating on the surface once you put it down. So we're just going to put that all over the piece and then wipe away any excess. And again, you want to do that quick because once this stuff dries and sets, it's almost impossible to remove. And that just brings out some of that contrast, makes the teeth look a little more pronounced, and just looks more like an old skull rather than a fresh cast out of a mold. So there we go. There we have our finished cast from our 0050 mold, ready for mounting or whatever crazy Halloween action we want to do with that. And one last point, those of you who want to cast foam into a mold like this, you can do it, but just know if you restrict that foam with a board or anything like that, this is such a soft silicone mold, it's going to want to bulge out. So if you were to throw our 6-pound density rigid casting foam in here, you could do that. Just know it's going to mushroom up. Just let it free rise. Don't try to restrain it or it's going to do crazy things to your mold. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more content. We have a lot of new products, so I'm playing catch up right now, putting out some new content, highlighting some of the new silicones and resin products.